you so much for stopping by. Today I am going to be showing you the card that I created for Craft Roulette episode number 227. So here is the card, and the project had to be a 4x8. So I took Pretty in Pink and I cut it down to an 8x8 and then scored it in half to create my 4x8 project. Then the colors had to be mountain colors. And you can look at that in two different ways. When I think about mountains, I think about when I went camping and went fishing, and you could find easily ponds in the mountains. So that's why I decided to use this paper here, this paper pack called Lily Pond Lane, that has these beautiful papers. I just love them. And so I thought this would be a perfect paper pack to use for this project, not only for the mountain colors, but for the element parameter and random parameter that I'll talk about here in a minute. But I really like this scene, and I think all the colors can easily be found in the mountains. And the pink, you're going to find beautiful pink flowers and so on. So I think I've got my mountain colors covered. Now the element had to be float or floats or floating. So in this case, we have our little ducks here that are floating on the random parameter of water. So that covered that perfectly. And what I did, I kind of wanted to talk about how I used just this one piece of paper and I had no scraps left over on this card. Now this will only work if you like the back side of the paper that you choose, and I did, and it worked out perfectly for me. So what I did was I cut off 3/4 of an inch off of this side, and then the part that I use as my focal point on my card was the next 3 5/8, which is down the middle here, which left me 1 5/8 on this side. So I used that middle one, the 3 5/8, as my focal point. But then the back side, I used that 3/4 inch that I cut off first for my inside of my card at the bottom. And of course I had a little bit extra here that I had to cut off. And then the rest I put at the bottom on the front of the card and had that little bit of extra that I cut off. That little bit of extra that I cut off, I used a die cut that was in this charming duck pond that I used. I used the flower for the lily pad, and I die cut them with the rest of those pieces that was cut off from that pink gingham. And I love the way they turned out. So I'm using 2 on the front here, and I used 4 on the inside because I put these lily pads down at the bottom here, and then I have 1 up at the top here. So that used up all my paper. And before I put this paper down, I went ahead and die cut everything that I wanted in the Pretty Peacock from my mat. So that way I could do paper saving technique. And then this part right here was left over from the bottom that I cut off from the 8.5 by 11. So the 8.5 side. So I had this piece left. So I just put it here. And then I took the die that I did my cattails with. Since I die cut a set in the Pretty Peacock, then I die cut another set in basic white because I wanted to color my cattails to match the ones that are in the paper. And so I did that on white, and basically I just took my 2 Stampin' Blends, both light, the light Pretty in Pink and the light Peach Pie, And I did a little bit of coloring of both of those on those cattails so that they would match the ones in the paper. Love the way that turned out. And then I wanted this little frog here at the bottom, so I stamped him and colored him in with the light Pretty Peacock on the lily pad, because that was basically what I was focusing on. And then did the light Granny Apple Green for the middle of his body there, because then the other one I stamped in just the ink Granny Apple Green, that because this set has where you can stamp the image and then stamp the colored part on the inside of that little frog. So, and both my sentiments come from that set as well, and I have Happy Birthday down here at the bottom on basic white, and did a little angle cutting there, popped that up, popped up my frog, and popped up this lily pad with the flower. And then on the inside, everything was just laid down flat, but this part here was the leftover piece that I had off of this bottom part. And after die cutting my flowers, I went ahead, because that was done at the top here, and did some fussy cutting around those cattails, and then I was able to use that piece on the inside of my card. And just put that down first, and then laid my strip of paper over it, and then put my lily pads on top of that. So I used up every single bit of paper from this one sheet here, which worked out great, and I love that. So yeah, this was fun. I'm not a big slimline fan, but Mr. Will decided that I needed to make that this week, so I think it was fun because I was able to create a mountain pond scene with the papers that I chose. Well, with the one paper that I chose. And then I love, have a lovely day. Just think it turned out very cute. Okay, well, there is my card for Craft Roulette episode number 227. I hope you enjoyed this card and this video, and if you did, you can show me your joy by giving this video a thumbs up. Okay, well, until my next video, have fun crafting, and remember, choose joy, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.